now this.
And now,
over to you, Bill.
And now for something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
A working video feed.
Alistair Cook strangled by ducks.
He's dead.
Okay, I just gotta wait for people to show up.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What did you do?
I just started a new
fed.
thing.
New fed. Okay.
New fed.
We get corrupted in our thing.
Was corrupted. That's the problem right there. Picks. Diodario.
I have a pick. It's an
picks.
Apollo pick.
An Apollo pick.
Juice up jaw harp.
Okay, people are coming. Got 13.
Oh my gosh, there's 13
people.
Check. 1, 2. Clock 1, 2. Clock 1, 2. Clock 1, 2.
Okay, now play the guitar again. do that intro bit again. Right into the mic, like really loud.
Okay. Sound good?
And he's lost his mind.
Okay.
Welcome to String Theory.
Again.
Technical issues, part 2.
Still.
We had a great intro.
Yep, you missed it.
You missed it.
Do it again.
So, String Theory. The show every Wednesday night that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, and who knows, because
Here we are.
bullshit.
Yeah.
All right.
Stuff.
Because,
Where are we?
I don't know. Where are we?
We're at Fantasy Music.
We're at Fantasy Music here in beautiful downtown Spring Garden Road.
Yep.
In
the summer.
Well, there's no Spring Garden Road, but there's a huge
Big smoking hole.
Smoking
over-
Spring Garden
crater.
hole?
Yeah.
But-
A trench.
Yeah, so it's good to be with you. We're all just full of fish and, and
Sushi and
and
wasabi.
we're here for the big draw tonight. And
Yep. We're surrounded by prizes.
I'm a little let down because we lost the whole intro and was working so hard on that.
That's okay,
Just-
big fella.
Just
Now
pretend and do it again.
It's
now
okay.
I don't
let
know.
it go.
I don't believe
Cleansing.
I don't believe in anything anymore.
Cleansing breaths.
They say you're a little quiet.
Yeah.
Is it possible to hold that closer to a face?
What if I do this? Hello.
What button are you pushing?
Volume
I
up.
think it's all the way up.
Oh.
It's all the way up. It only has 5 levels, and I clicked it
Hello.
Hello.
Is it even working?
all. It is. It's just not close to your face.
All right. Well,
Okay,
it's
well,
not going to get any closer.
Please adjust your set.
Yes. String theory.
Yep. That's here. Okay. Got any bright ideas?
Yeah.
What?
Get that other mic from her so they can hear us and you both have a mic.
Do you want that?
Yeah, let's
you put that
on. We're gonna commandeer Megan's mic, Ginger's mic, because these things there. Is that better? It's got to be better.
Is that better?
There you go.
You can
Might be
just
better.
shout really loud. Hey!
I'll just scream at you. Not that they have any questions. Well, I do actually. I remember one from.
All right, we're looking. Oh, well, first of all, let's do Capo Corner.
Yeah.
And,
don't have any
and
Capos here.
Stephen McNeil, not the premier,
They're the musical premium.
the musical premier of Nova Scotia, is going to help us out with this one because he just showed me something just before the show started
Yep.
that I thought would make an excellent Capo Corner feature because we're talking about new things. This thing is killer.
This thing is wild.
Now, I've seen this kind of technology before, but I hadn't actually had one in my hand and saw just exactly how cool it really is, but it's cool.
Overhead bin.
Overhead bin
Fits in
guitar.
an overhead bin.
This is, believe it or not, a fully acoustic guitar in here. And it's made by Journey, not the band. And there you go. Just pop the strings,
Okay.
and you pull out the body like so.
All right, I'll get this out of the way.
And then all you do at that point is you get your strings all happy. Are they fairly happy? Yes. Seem to be relatively happy. And then we
Woo.
That's it.
And you tighten it up.
And
on
you
the
tighten it up in the back.
back. Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. This thing actually adjusts your action too.
Yeah.
And
Listen to this thing.
yeah, it's scary. Let me just put a tuner on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was so impressed by this thing. Couldn't believe it. And nothing works. Honest to God, nothing is working. Nothing works. Why is that not working? I don't know.
Locking tuners.
Fascinated by this thing. It's a beautiful sounding guitar. It's not like super loud, but it's got a lot of nice tone.
Yeah. You would not know it's a piece of carbon fiber.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd think it was a wooden guitar.
And it has a passive pickup in it, which is just like a K&K. It's a 3 sensor pickup, no battery, plugs in right there. And the headstock is really cool because it has locking. Spurzl used to make these, but these are built by, who makes these, Stephen?
Grover.
The Grover?
Yeah.
So the way that these work, and it's ingenious for this design, right? You have this little
Strap over the
yeah,
nut.
there's a strap over the nut to keep the strings from flying off when you take the neck off. And to keep these loops from coming undone, there's a locking machine head. So when you string the guitar, you peg it and pull the string through the hole, and you would pull it tight as you can possibly pull it, and then tighten this screw, and then you just tune it. And it only has it ends up with having half a wind on it. And I used
Nothing can flip off.
Nothing can come off. And I used to use this system on a guitar of mine, and I put Spurzls on it, and they're still working today, 30 years ago. So these things work really well, and they don't wear out. And yeah, it's just a cool little guitar. I really like it.
You'd swear if you closed your eyes you were listening to a wooden
Yeah,
instrument.
if you're in the room with it, we hit a G chord. Well, I did it a minute ago. Just went like this. It takes about 12 seconds for it to die. It's got tremendous sustain.
They want to know what it costs.
What does this one cost, Stephen?
$16.95.
This is $16.95.
And there is another one,
Yeah, there's a
That's
wooden one.
a little less money.
Yep,
Yeah, it's that last one.
there's a wooden one there. And these are out of the United States. Texas.
Their head office is in Texas, yeah.
Right.
There's the wooden one.
So yeah, so there's the wooden version. It's exactly the same.
Bigger bottom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's got a bigger body, mahogany.
Man's ear wedge, I think that's called.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
$5.99.
$5.99 for the wooden version.
Same
I mean,
pickup.
you got to pay a lot of money for this technology because it's quite incredible, right? It's got no bracing in it. It's like a unibody design. It's impervious to humidity, any kind of. You could dunk this in water, and it could be full of water, and you could dump the water out, and it still sounds and plays identically the same as it did before. So yeah,
All carbon fiber.
yeah, it's indestructible, and it fits in an overhead bin in a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it sounds great.
yeah, and I imagine it sounds incredible plugged in because it's a K&K style. It's a three sensor system, passive, which which is my favorite kind of pickup. That's why I use K&Ks, and
We sell
Yeah.
those $89 too, just the
Yeah, they have a version, a K&K style 3-sensor system that they sell as well.
Is the neck hollow?
No,
No.
the neck is solid graphite. The entire guitar is solid graphite. Except, I mean, obviously this is hollow, but yeah, it's really something. Even the bridge is not real. It's just extruded out of the top. It's like a mold. It's like something
Molded
from
in.
underneath pushed it out.
Yeah.
It's,
Comes with an optional pick guard too.
yeah,
In every case, yeah.
cool.
Fill it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's Capo Corner. That's pretty damn cool.
You could also put a plant in there too, and it wouldn't hurt anything.
You could probably paddle a canoe with it.
Sounded weird.
Thank you.
But it is. I'm fascinated by those type of instruments because, I mean, Ovation was the first one to ever start to experiment with
Carbon fiber.
and non-wooden body types. Right? They came up with this material they call Lyracord, which is a plastic just like that. It's a polymer or something, right? And it may have a graphite base in it, but it's not. I don't think that guitar is made like that. They used to call it a graphite body, but it's not graphite.
Carbon
It's
fiber.
way too heavy or light to be graphite.
Yeah.
Graphite is really heavy. So, yeah. So there you go. Journey Guitars.
Yeah.
And Stephen is the only dealer in Canada.
Yeah, we're the Canadian distributor.
The Canadian distributor for the whole company. So that's really cool. So if you want a really wicked cool travel guitar, look no further.
Give me a call. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Ken next.
I have a question from Isidore Allaire.
Isidore Allaire.
After multiple TBIs, my fret hand stopped working for a while. Started death gripping, so I bought a Yamaha NTX3 nylon to learn more gentle touch. Thoughts?
I don't know what to tell you. Death gripping is not caused by physical problems. Death gripping is caused by mental problems, right? When you're playing the guitar, you death grip when you're panicking about what you're doing next, or you're just putting too much force into the instrument you don't need to put in. The other thing you need to do, you didn't need to buy a nylon string. You could have just lowered your action and started using light gauge strings. And that's the secret. It isn't changing the instrument. It's teaching yourself to play relaxed. Everybody has to do that. You can't play the guitar successfully if you're in a physical panic, and that's what causes death gripping, right? You're playing and you're like, I don't want to mess this up, and your brain's going, I have to squeeze this really hard to make shit come out. Ah! And I've seen people do it, and like some people that we know do it.
Last night at your house.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, but I've seen great players do it, and they you can tell they're doing it because when they fret the B string at the 3rd fret and play a D note, right? They're hitting it, they're squeezing it so hard that they're making
Bending
it
it.
sharp.
Yeah.
And if you're squeezing the strings hard enough to cause them to go sharp, you're squeezing way too hard. You need to a good exercise for learning to play with sensitivity to the neck of the guitar is to just play major scales, one note at a time, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? And do it in every key. Find that scale in every major key. And take note of how much pressure and realistically how little pressure it takes to put that string down, right? That's what you got to start teaching your hand to do that. And if you don't do that, you'll damage yourself. The guy that I'm talking about is one of my closest friends, and he's destroyed his hands death gripping. He now has to have cortisone shots in his hands, and he's got his ligaments inside are full of calcium. Like he'd been playing for 40 years like that. He's got a really heavy left hand. Right hand is beautiful, but his left hand he always squeezes too hard, and I've told him that. And But now he's paying for it. He's in his 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and now he has to go get shots in his hand every so for many months so that he doesn't have lockups. Like
Right.
he's got that thing, that the shortening of ligaments is caused by calcium buildup and all that shit. And I had the same thing when I was young. I played so much that I destroyed both hands and had to have carpal tunnel. The same thing. It's a calcium buildup on the nerves in the palm of your hand from just overplaying. And like I do really fast things, so that's just as dangerous as over squeezing. Is pushing yourself physically beyond the normal limitation, right? Which, unfortunately, playing a guitar always does. It's not natural to be able to play the guitar like
No, you
crazy.
are a freak of nature.
No, it's not natural for anybody. It's not a natural thing. It's a very unnatural thing, and so you have to keep that in mind when you're learning to play it. You're forcing your body to do something that it's not really built to
Designed
do.
to do.
No,
Yeah.
and so you have to take it easy on your body, and find the easiest way to do things, and that counts for every single musician on any instrument. I said in my book in the first chapter that you have to, when you're playing guitar, you have to imagine yourself from the top of your head to the end of your fingers as being water, with no form and no nothing. Just
Very artistic.
well, that's what it is. It's just everything just has to be there and flow, and no pressure, no strain. That's why great players like Mark O'Connor and these guys, they always tell you, they used to tell me when I had hurt myself, they said, you have to warm up before you play. You have to do some kind of calisthenic, you have to do shoulder stretches and back stretches and all these different, they taught me these things at the Rehabilitation Center for Symphony Players here in Halifax. It's a program, it's a whole
You're
clinic.
going to warm up like an athlete.
Yeah, it's exactly right, because it is very athletic. You're asking your body to do things it just doesn't do. So anyhow, I wish you the best of luck. The gut string will help you initially, but it doesn't help you in the long run because you can't go back to the steel string. You'll play the gut string, think you're fine. You go back to the steel string, you'll start death gripping it again. So you got to go back to the steel string and get that eased off, and then play the gut string for a while. Maybe switch between the two during your practice session, so your hand starts to see the difference between the two things, right? So that was a long friggin' answer. but-
Mom's giggling at us over there.
I'm giggling at them.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, next question.
We have a super chat from Bram Avery.
Brad Avery.
Happy Wednesday.
My main acoustic is a Japanese tag with a cedar top from '88. I love the tone and playability. It's a tad quiet unless amplified. What is your opinion on cedar tops?
I love cedar tops.
Yeah.
I love them. Some people I know don't like them because it's a softer wood.
It compresses very easily when you hit it hard.
Yeah, it has a really unique tone and a dark, kind of glistening tone. But the problem with cedar is that if it's not used by the right builder, it can belly and ripple and everything else. It's
soft.
very, very soft. So you have to get a maker that really knows how to use cedar
Generally,
properly.
great guitars for finger picking
Yep.
because it's a delicate sound and it excels at that. But if you want a Canon, it's not going to be a cedar top guitar because it just naturally compresses when you hit it harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, sir.
But-
Cedar all the way. I love cedar.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
And looks fantastic.
It does, yeah.
They
very
want you to
pretty.
repeat the questions because they can't hear me.
Oh, okay.
What was the question?
Well, that question was obviously, what do I think of cedar
Yeah.
for a top? So,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
Did you ever meet Red Volkart? Played with Waylon Jennings and the Strangers in the late '90s and 2000s.
Yes. Did I ever meet Red Volkart? No. Sorry, I didn't. I know who it is, but I never met him. Sorry. Next.
From the Happy Knot.
The Happy Knot.
The Cannot.
The Happy Knot.
Have you tried K&K violin pickups opposed to playing into the K&K mic?
So K&K violin pickups opposed to K&K mics. Okay, well, I never knew K&K made a mic. They make a mic that goes inside a guitar, but that's all I know about. And I also didn't know they made pickups for fiddles.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. So I don't use pickups on my violins anymore because I did it for years, and I started to get, I fell into a couple of really nice violins, and I didn't feel like wrecking them because the only pickup that really works is the bags. And the bags requires you to replace your bridge. The bags is, the pickup is the bridge.
Into
Yeah.
the bridge. Yeah.
So, and I just don't like that because their bridges are shit. They're not, and sometimes they're even backwards. Most people don't realize that a fiddle bridge is meant to go, yes,
Yeah.
one side is the back. You can tell by licking it. You lick it, and you can, there's only one side where you can see the grain on it. That's the back end.
Okay.
I think. It might be the other way around, but there's one side, you just do that, and you can see the brown flecks going. And that only happens on one side of a fiddle bridge. And that's, I think, the rear of it. So that's when you buy a blank bridge, right? But I've seen bridges set up that they're backwards. And of course they come as a blank. You have to shape them.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the ass. So,
And you don't move around a lot when
No,
you're playing
no,
fiddle, so
no.
a microphone for you
Yeah.
works fantastic. You don't need to be wireless on a pickup
No,
system
no.
or anything like that.
and I just always just played my fiddle right into my vocal mic because the fiddle is the most like a human voice than any other instrument.
Got so much range.
Yeah. So like my Beta 87 Shure that I sing into, that I carry with me, that thing just reproduces the fiddle like unbelievable.
And a lot of fiddles, quite frankly, it doesn't matter what pickup you put on them, they sound horrible through
Yeah,
it.
and they all sound the same.
Yeah.
You don't really hear the violin
No.
with that, right? And I wanted people to hear my fiddle, the way it sounds.
It sounds great through a Beta 87.
Yeah.
Which is just a condenser vocal mic.
Mind you, I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'm playing by myself on stage. Don't even have an accompanist.
Yeah.
But I would not hesitate actually to use a mic if I was just with a piano player or a guitar player. That's no problem, right? In a band situation,
You need a pickup.
I'd use a Yamaha silent fiddle.
Yeah.
That's what I would do to get around that. Is that they make the best, in my opinion, one of the best sounding pickups on a fiddle is the Yamaha silent. That, because it cuts, it's full, every string's the same volume. You can set them up to play any action you want. Like, you can't lose with those. So as little as I do that type of work anymore, that's what I would use. So next,
Question from Ian Rossiter.
Ian
Hi,
Rossiter.
Ian Rossiter. Happy Wednesday. Fiddly-dee potatoes.
He's wondering if you have any thoughts on amplifying mandolins.
Thoughts on amplifying mandolins? Well, I only amplify my mandolins one way, and that's with K&Ks. I have a pair of Eastman mandolins, and they both came to me outfitted. They came from the factory, outfitted with a K&K. And I just run the mandolin right through my guitar amp, and they sound absolutely friggin' incredible. So there you go. Blah. Next.
The next one's from Miles Gallagher.
Miles Gallagher.
The question is for Quiz.
Oh.
Question for Quiz.
Hi, Miles. Quiz here.
Are you learning anything?
Oh, I'm learning so much. More than I learn when I'm with you. But that's because I don't learn anything when I'm with you. Miles. What can I
Miles
say?
and miles.
Miles from,
Miles and miles.
miles from nowhere.
Yeah, miles for miles. I think we should show everybody this beautiful.
Clucky says hi, Miles.
I think we should show everybody this beautiful Yamaha
Oh, yeah.
L56
Check
custom.
this thing out.
It's an absolute cannon. Stereo. What a beast.
What a classic sound out of that.
It's like the best dreadnought you've ever seen. Like, And the reason that this is so incredibly special is that these guitars are only built by one man. This is the man who is the head luthier of the shop where the L series are built. And when you order a 56, it takes 6 months to get it because it's only built by that one man while he's supervising the other 12, 18 guys who are building the 36s, 26s, 16s, right? So he has this on his bench, his own private bench, building this guitar for you. And to see one in a store is pretty well unheard of. This is the only one I've ever actually seen in a store. And so, yeah, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous guitar. Rosewood, bound in maple, you know, just wicked Sitka top.
Perfection in the
4+ Sitka top.
Yeah.
The fingerboard, everything's bound in maple. Headstock's all bound in abalone. Every piece laid by hand, every letter laid by hand. This guitar was built by candlelight. There wasn't one piece of power equipment that came into contact with this guitar. This entire instrument was built with hand tools. And I've seen pictures of the guys doing this. Like, it's just unbelievable. Every single piece of this guitar carved by hand.
It's more a boutique guitar.
Yeah,
than you realize.
it's an artisan. It's
Yeah.
a piece of the art. Right?
Yeah.
It's the artwork. And it's just, yeah. I have mine. I got mine last year, thanks to Yamaha Music Canada and to Stephen. And I always wanted one, and they made it possible for me to get one. And I couldn't be happier with that guitar. It's just, and one of those instruments where you know, you pick it up and you play it, and it just changes as you play it. It gets better and louder and better and louder and just crazy. So yeah, good on you, Stephen, for having this in the store. It's just unbelievable. If you want to see this, come and check it out.
Took 8 months to get here.
Took 8
Wow.
months to build that. Pass me the one on the back.
This old thing.
Yeah, this old thing. This, of course, is my buddy, Robin Boucher. One of his, one of his triple O's. I just love these guitars. What a monster, just another monstrous guitar from Robin. What are you going to do?
The slotted head is gorgeous in it.
Oh, and his sunbursts are so wicked. All herringbone trim, beautiful rosewood, mahogany stain, the neck stain the same color as the body. That's one of Robin's big things.
Yeah.
He never likes putting the mahogany on a guitar so that it stands out from the body wood. He always stains it so it's the same color. Never noticed that about anybody else. He does that every time. And what's the price on this one?
55.
$5,500. And I'm telling you what, she's worth every friggin' dime. There's no question. I have Yogi, which is this guitar without the sunburst.
Yeah.
And of course my signature model Boucher is this guitar basically with a cutaway. This is the guitar my signature model was designed on, yeah. Because I love his small body guitar so much. So there's another instrument here at Fantasy Music that you just don't see every day.
Ginger and I are very partial to the little propellers that they
Yes.
put into the fingerboard.
The propeller at the 12th fret,
Yeah.
especially for pilots.
Yeah, just for pilots.
Yeah.
So that was a quick commercial break.
That was a good tour.
We have some other things here too. We got red label Yamahas. We got a chocolate L series. Oh, is that the one I reviewed? No, it's a different one.
That's an LL6.
Ooh, that's a new one.
That's just, yeah.
I bet you that's a killer.
16.
Remember the little one I did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not the same guitar.
I've been told that a lot of the guitars that I've taken out of this store to review and I bring them back, they're gone.
Yeah, there's
That's really good.
a couple of names to send me the other. The silent guitar just shipped out.
Yeah, yeah.
Sold everything.
So let's keep it going. Let's keep people coming down here to buy stuff because it's hard on Steven. This construction is really tough.
Yeah, we're open, you know, no less parking. Come down Birmingham Street,
Yep.
park in the back.
Park in the back,
Yep.
all good. So, okay, next.
We have a super chat from Mr. Eggergan Gork.
Aggregan Gork. How are you doing there, buddy?
He says, what's the difference in tone between bone and tusk for nut and saddle?
The difference of tone between bone and tusk. What do you think? You worked with both.
Not a great deal.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I
Not a
think
great
tusk might be slightly brighter.
deal. Brighter. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because the bone it's a little harder than the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they both machine well
Yep.
and are easy to work with, and
But the thing
Yeah.
about bone, and I've had it happen now twice, once on a Boucher and once on another guitar recently, is bone came from a living organism. So that blank, you don't know what's inside it.
that's it.
So when you cut your nut out, I've had nuts where there's a weak spot and a wound string ate its way right down through.
It'll saw through
yeah,
it for
yeah,
sure.
saw right through it,
Yeah.
and then your string's laid on the frets.
Yeah.
That
There's-
doesn't happen with tusk.
Bone is not consistent throughout the
No.
the dimensional.
It could have
piece.
it could have
yeah.
one section that's more porous
Right.
than another section.
Yeah, and the tusk is much more.
Yeah, the tusk is completely consistent
Yeah.
and slightly brighter. As for bottom end and warmth, I think they're equal,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bone does have a slight advantage just because it's organic in some way. There's some strange.
You don't see a ton of it these days. I mean, everybody's pretty much gone to Micarta and
Yeah, Micarta and tusk. Yeah.
synthetic stuff. So
Because it's consistent.
Yeah.
The bone thing is this ethereal kind of phantom
Yeah.
difference.
it's boutiquey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like, yeah, I want bone
Yeah,
because bone.
because bone.
Because
I
bone.
don't want plastic in my guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
When Tusk and Micarta, they're not actually plastics. They're
Yeah.
something else, but sort of plastic, but not really. Because they're hard as rock.
Micarta's actually, I think Micarta's more similar to bone. In
It's softer,
Yeah, in
right?
its machinability and how you can work with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it probably isn't, like if you had a guitar that wasn't bright enough for you, going to a Tusk saddle and nut could brighten it up for you.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas if you were using Micarta, which most everything comes with today, and you didn't like the tone, that's one little tweak you could do.
That's right.
But it's very
And a
esoteric.
saddle, too.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
esoteric. In the
Bone saddles are, I think bone saddles, you'd hear a difference in a saddle more readily than you would in the nut. The saddle is where you're really getting the tone from. It's the translator between your hand and the bridge plate.
Yeah.
So it's like a microphone.
Yeah.
So I think a bone saddle might have a bigger impact on whatever things, right? It's just like we said. It's
Not only the sound of the guitar, just acoustically, but if you're using a pickup system with it,
Right.
it'll affect that greatly as well.
yeah, negatively.
Yeah.
For the same reason, because the density of the bone is not the same right across the blank.
Yeah.
And you have to have the same pressure on the UST, right? You have to have, on the under saddle, that has to have a constant pressure, identical pressure, under each string. And if there's a weak spot in the bone, it doesn't translate that vibration the same.
Yeah.
Tusk hasn't have that.
There's so many better ways of getting the sound out of a guitar than a UST.
Oh my
these days,
God.
right?
Yeah, there's no point in using them,
Well,
in my
they're,
opinion.
they're a pain in the ass. You
Yeah.
change your strings and
Yeah.
the saddle shifts while you're changing your strings. It can throw the whole tone of the guitar out and the balance out and everything.
Yeah, K&K is the way to go. There's no, I mean, I know to make that sort of technology, but K&K was really the first.
Well, they're beat with the 3 pickup.
Yeah, they just kill it
Yeah.
every time, every guitar.
Now, we did 2 K&K installs today.
Yeah,
And how long did
one,
that take
one,
us?
I don't know, an
2
hour,
hours,
a couple hours.
tops?
Yeah,
For both of them, and that's...
and one of them was difficult.
Yeah.
In my Yeri, in a
'Cause it
Yeri
was so
custom
small.
Yeri.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the direct couple bridge
Right.
was presented a whole other thing inside
Yeah.
the guitar, like trying to get the sensors where we wanted them. But so easy.
Yeah.
They're in and they're permanent. There's no battery, there's no nothing. You
No.
plug it in, you go. That's why Journey uses the same technology,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's passive. There's no chances of corrosion interfering with it. It's a great idea. The 3 sensor idea.
And
You know.
that allows you to move the sensors around. Oh, Steven's got one here.
There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Very much like K&K.
Yeah.
A little bit larger,
Mm-hmm.
but same
Yeah,
technology.
those are about twice the size of a K&K
Yep.
sensor element, but exactly the same. 3 wires
Yep.
into the
Out to
end
the
pin
out,
jack.
and there you go.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to beat that concept, right?
Yeah.
No battery, no bullshit.
Yeah.
There's nothing to break down.
That's it.
It goes in with crazy glue. It isn't coming off,
No.
right? So,
And there's no, unlike, say, a full bags iMix on board where you've got a beam and an undersaddle, those wires can get microphonic. And if you're
Yeah.
moving around while you're playing and the wires are knocking inside the guitar, if they're not, you can hear
coming
that.
out everywhere.
So you lose controllability with one of those. You don't have any onboard controls. So for some people, it's worth it going the other way. And
That's right.
some people have just, for their own comfort, have to have bass and treble and phase and volume control. But it all comes at a cost, for sure, when the technology for these has come so far.
Yeah. And I just want to make a quick shout out, and I forgot to do this, but our good friend David down at Gallagher Guitars called us just before the show started.
You wanted to know what we were drinking tonight.
Yeah,
Guinness and
Guinness and
Corona.
Corona. And I just wanted to say a very special thank you to those guys who have been so incredibly supportive. They've been working with us for a year. They came on board last summer and built me my first Gallagher, my G70, which I love. And there was we did the Doc show, and this. It's just been a great relationship with those guys. And they just completed the Nashville, the Summer NAMM show, and had a great deal of success there. And he called to tell me that they're just so happy that we're involved, and
Great people.
they're great people, and they make great guitars, and the guitar has a tremendous legacy. You know, that's the guitar that I grew up watching Doc Watson play, and the Steve Kaufmans of the world, and
Great support
yeah,
with the instruments as well.
tremendous. They're just tremendous guys. They're just like all the other folks I deal with. They're like the Bouchers and the Yeris and the Yamaha. They're people you can call up and go, I have a problem, and oh, really? Well, what can we do? And they don't care what it is; they'll fix it.
They're artisans. They want.
They're artisans.
they
It
want the
matters.
product to
It
be
matters
the
to
best.
them. Yeah, matters to them. They're not doing it for money. They really aren't. When you look at a company like that, they're doing it because they love it.
It's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have bills to pay, but ultimately they do it because they love guitar players. That's the deal, right? And it's the same reason that we have the channel. So I think that's why him and I get along so well.
On
You're-
that note,
Yes.
Jay sent Cajun Queen a new nut for her Buzzy Bee string she mentioned last week.
Awesome.
Nice.
So Glenn set that up for her.
Cool. So there you go. Boucher just sent a new nut to Cajun Queen. The same thing happened to her. Had a weak spot in the bone, and the B string ate through the nut and laid down on the frets. Right.
Yeah.
I have one of mine, Tarzan,
Yeah.
my custom Cocobolo, that I just love that guitar.
Yeah.
That's Dave's favorite guitar. And same thing. My G string ate through the nut and just it's just laying there. Yeah. So
And Glenn Gottel,
what?
wow, she's off the hook.
Yeah, something just
Yeah,
happened there.
The sushi is not, something's not sitting right.
This-
So you
this-
said Glenn set that up for Cage
Yeah.
Queen?
Yep.
So that's another reason why you come to a store like Fantasy or
That's
like
right.
G&G,
Yep.
because if they sell you that instrument,
That's right.
they're going to they can be your interface with the manufacturer. to make
Exactly.
sure you get taken care of.
Stephen has been with us since day one almost, and I mean, this is the type of shop where, you know, Stephen and Glenn, these are shops where players can walk in and buy world-class instruments or not.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a $300 guitar here. You can buy Recording Kings, Jay Terzer, Alvarez. Like, there's all sorts of things in here for
The whole
every
range.
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy.
We've facilitated repairs too, like
Yeah.
shipped guitars to Vancouver.
Mhm.
Yep.
Had an issue, and you know, people can get their work done, and we can pay that bill and
Yep.
get our money back from here too.
Yes.
That's not an issue.
Stephen just said that he's personally had facilitated the shipment of guitars back to companies, like out in Vancouver, and they take care of the cost of that. And you know, these guys stand behind the product on the wall, where most of the time, when you get into chain stores, they're not able to do that.
No.
They immediately just defer to, okay, well, my Martin's busted. Okay, well, it has to go back to Nazareth. That's what they have to say, right?
Send them an email on the website.
Yeah, it's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a single guy here, who this is his life, this is what he does, right? He's also a musician, of course. So is Glenn. Glenn is one ECMAs, him and his brother, the Kid Brothers, right? These guys know what it's like to be out on the road, playing music, doing your thing. You walk in, you buy a guitar, you buy any piece of gear in here, you know you're going to get great service. And
I just wish he'd stop staring in my bedroom window at 2 o'clock.
yeah, it's starting to worry me too as I'm prowling around this.
Hey, call me 24/7, man.
They call me. There you go. And what's the number here, Stephen?
902-407-2204.
407-2204, area code 902. Fantasy music,
The 902.
right here, the 902. Next.
Not slow, Freddy.
I remember Not Slow Freddy.
JP, given your gospel-y past, do you know Nadine Landry from Gaspé Peninsula and her old-timey cohorts in Foghorn String Band?
Do I know who? Nadia?
Nadine
Nadine?
Landry.
Nadine Landry? No, I don't know her. The question has to do with gospel music, so yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm afraid. My gospel years were spent in the deep south of the United States, so I don't really know that many gospel
Bibles and barbecue, baby.
Bibles and barbecue, baby. Yeah, I was in the Bible Belt, and mine kept coming off.
Fiddly-dee potatoes.
Next,
Michael Easter.
Michael Easter.
Hey, Michael.
And for Chris, what was it like to smash a guitar?
I was hoping it was going to shatter,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, as you saw, the neck clean done come right off her by,
Yeah.
and it actually jumped up like a
Bit you like a raccoon.
bit me like a
Someone
wounded
said, yeah.
raccoon. Yeah.
Just to clarify to you, that guitar was already busted.
Yeah.
We would never
Not a
smash.
good guitar.
We'd
No.
never smash a playable guitar. That one was, the neck was already cracked and about
Yeah.
to come off, and the top had bellied so bad there was no
It was
way to
not
fix it.
repairable.
So that's the only reason we did that. It would never smash something that I thought it could be fixed.
It was
'Cause we
oddly
fixed it-
satisfying putting the stomp on it though.
Yeah, it's yeah. We would never do that to a playable guitar, no question.
Yeah,
So,
we may rescue the machine heads off it and the
yeah. We may salvage what we can from
yeah,
it, but
the pegs and the stuff like that, but it will be in the next campfire. We'll give it a proper send off.
it'll have a proper burial.
Next
Yes.
campfire, for sure. Yeah.
Good question from Bram Avery.
Bram Avery, back again.
Have you ever used flat wound strings on any of your flat tops?
Flat wound strings. Have I ever used flat wound strings on any of my flat tops? No. The only flat wounds that I've used, I've put on my Gretches, and one set I put on my Dobro, but I didn't like them on anything.
What was the difference in them that you didn't?
They're
made you not-
heavy.
Yeah.
They're heavy feeling. You know what I mean? They don't have the, they feel hard. And it doesn't matter how light the gauge
more
is.
Metal. More
Yeah,
metal,
they
less
don't
give.
they don't have any
Yeah.
give in them, right? Like a wound string, it's like, you know, the winding allows it to do this,
Yeah.
right? But the flat wounds are,
There's no air space.
there's
in
no
between
air
the ones.
space, so they're just like that, and you can't. What you get is what you get. You put your finger down, and that's it.
Yeah.
The rest is
No give.
no give. And I just didn't like that. So,
That was that.
and the Dobro was almost the same problem. They didn't have. They were so flat. They didn't give you any resistance with the bar. They felt like too slidey, right? So I use D'Addario. I use what Jerry Douglas uses, which is
The
a
new
phosphor.
DR neon.
Yeah,
strings.
right. Neon
Endorsed
strings are
by
good.
Jerry Douglas.
These are actually really cool DR strings.
Yeah.
I've put these on my acoustic. They make like not the pink ones, but I've put the black ones on my acoustic, and they're friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
The coloring is actually a coating, like elixir almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty cool. So
Do they glow in the dark?
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next. We're getting awful close to the big moment here, boys and girls.
I think
Time?
kind of the last question.
5-2.
There's not much left. Jay Gallant.
Jay Gallant.
Not Jeff Gallant.
I know Jay too.
Are you going to be in the Boucher tent at Rogersville?
In the Boucher tent at Rogersville. No, I am not.
Not?
No. No, I am not. I'm not making it up there this year. So, yeah,
We could always put you on the bus.
that's true. You could.
Walk up, hitchhike.
You could.
Pedal on your new bike.
Go to
That's
the
right.
bike. Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 50
You could take the Journey guitar and just put the backpack on and off you go.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't. Yeah, and like I'm going to walk into the Boucher tent with that on my back.
No, just put a Boucher sticker on it, and Robin can have a guitar there waiting for you.
Right. I'll just put a Boucher
Yeah.
sticker on the Journey.
Yes.
It's a bad plan.
Here's a guitar that Robin made while severely drunk.
Well, playing with his chemistry set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robin
Yeah.
left the electric fry pan on too long and it melted.
Yep.
No, I shouldn't be making fun of it. It's, you know, it's terrible, but all guitar players make fun of carbon guitars.
Yeah.
But they're not that funny. That thing is really
There's
good.
a lot of technology in that.
Yeah,
in
it's
that.
amazing. The technology is amazing, and the guitar sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
I know that these microphones don't do it any justice,
No.
but you play that thing, and it's like, where is all this sound coming from? Because it's got
Where's the
no
tone
yeah,
coming from?
it's got no body.
Yeah.
It's really small. It's about the size of a. It's a little bigger than a mandolin, for Christ's sake.
It's smaller than that other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The body size is
It's
considerably
small. It's
smaller.
so tiny, but yet it has all this volume, all this tone, and all this sustain. That's what really freaks me out.
If Batman played a guitar,
That would be
he'd,
that.
he'd play it.
That would be the
Sure
one.
of it.
Okay.
That day.
Anything left? Because we're gonna do the big. I'm
There's a
getting all
request
excited.
For a rendition of "Wake Up Little Susie" for John Everly.
I wish I could, but I just don't know it, and I'd have to detune something in here, and I just don't know the song.
Alright,
Sorry about that.
There's no more super chat, so
All right.
Before we draw, do you know that Steven's revamping the prize pack every
Yes.
week for
Yes.
Fantasy?
Fantasy, you're gonna get a surprise pack.
Yeah.
So you could get a
Picks.
bag of D'Addario picks.
Could get a kazoo.
These are nice picks too. I love these things.
does that come with lessons from you on the kazoo?
Lessons from
Free
you on
lessons from and
Jaw harps.
and jaw harps. Free lessons.
and multiple other little goodies that
And you
are
might get
hiding around the shop.
these DR yellow,
Strings.
pink, neon, rainbow. These are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love these things.
You guys need those beer coats
Yeah.
Well,
Stick
we
it on
might
beer.
we might.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that. Tortex Dunlop.
Mm-hmm.
You might get one of these.
There's some cables in here, so the fantasy prize pack will be a surprise pack
Yeah. You're gonna
with
get.
some new items.
You'll get one
being
little
featured.
thing here and there,
Some
and
things.
yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yep.
And Levy helping us out up with Glenn
Mm-hmm.
at G&G. They're still building our string theory straps that Glenn sends out, and we really appreciate Glenn. And He's been a tremendous partner with us, as has Stephen. And I'm telling you, without these two shops, I don't think we could have pulled this off as long as we have. It's been an incredible run. So, here it goes. Let's talk about the big prize.
Where are your bongos?
The big prize,
we did
show
the
them the
drum
big prize. Okay, wait a minute now. Let's do the smallest thing first. So this right here was sent to me courtesy of this lovely company in the United States called Tone Right.
Mhm.
And the way that this thing works is quite ingenious. All it is a single oscillator, like so, right? And you just take the oscillator and you put it through the strings of your guitar thusly, and that's it. It just wedges in there, and you get it back so it's touching the saddle. You plug it into the wall, and it oscillates at different frequencies, which you control with this knob, either wide open or not so wide open.
Dave Gunning did a bit of a demo there.
Yeah.
years ago.
And they recommend that you leave this on your guitar at full bore for 75 hours. Leave it on for 4 days. And they say that, and I'm not saying, I shouldn't be putting it that way. I know that this works. I've seen this work. This will increase the volume and projection of your guitar by 25%, or I'm not wearing a red shirt.
It's
and I've seen it happen.
It's like taking your guitar on the road for 5
And
years.
it is. It's like playing the guitar nonstop for a month.
Yeah.
Only
Comes
you
in
get
a
it.
great
Only you
case.
get it done in 3 days, and it's got this beautiful, wax sealed. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, it's a good box.
So that's the first part of the prize. If that wasn't enough, that's coming to you, the grand winner. And
Not the chicken.
not the chicken.
Not clucky.
And I'm going to have another Corona.
All right.
Let's have number 2
All right.
from our dear friends at Yamaha,
The THR-5A.
the THR 5A. This is the. What is this? This is the acoustic. Obviously, the
Guitar
acoustic. Is this the 5 watt?
Yeah.
That's the 5 watt. So, yeah, this is a really cool. Not the one I reviewed.
Is it that one there?
This is a smaller version of it, but still, this thing. If you see the review I did on this,
I see that.
Similar. This is the
Similar-
electric one,
similar to
similar
this.
looking. That's the size.
yeah, take that away. This thing here has got 4 acoustic mics modeled in it, 6 effects. It can come out high. It's stereo speakers in it. It has an auxiliary in. It's battery powered or AC. It has a guitar amp model in it as well. USB connections, Cubase AI. You can use this thing to record directly into Cubase, which I believe it comes with, if I'm not mistaken. And there's an app that you can download on your phone to control this amplifier. And if you want, this is a really cool tool to have literally sitting on your desk or your credenza or your practice space, where you can get an idea of what your guitar sounds like plugged in without blowing your own head off. That's the problem with practicing with amplifiers. You tend to turn them up too loud.
Yeah.
And you lose the translation of the pickup. This thing will tell you exactly what your pickup sounds like. So this is a great prize. So we have this, our Tone Right, and a free 30-minute lesson with me on Zoom goes to the winner. So there you go. And this will all be shipped out by Stephen first thing this week, as soon as he gets a chance to do so. And
Who wants to know how much for the chicken?
but the chicken's not for sale.
We'll never give up Clucky, Joe. You can try.
And we can't thank Stephen enough and Fantasy Music for doing this. And we'll be starting a brand new giveaway series next week when we go to G&G and Ganesh and start another run with him.
Actually,
and
the week after next.
is it? Oh, that's right. We won't be here next week because I'm going to be gigging in Cape Breton, and I won't be able to do this.
No.
I'll be playing
Maybe
on
you
Wednesday night.
Live low.
Yeah.
I'll do something.
shark.
I'll reach out to you, but I won't be able to do we won't be able to do the traditional dealie. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 16 people to choose from. Gonna use the old number generator here.
Number generator?
16. Okay. Ready? Number 1.
Oh.
Number 1 is John DeLory.
Mm-hmm.
John DeLory. John DeLory. You have won the grand prize package. So, send an email to me right away at jpcormier38@gmail.com. John DeLory. And you have won. jpcormier38@gmail.com. And I will forward you to Stephen, and he will ship all this cool stuff. And you and I can talk about when, how, and where we're going to do the Zoom guitar lesson for you, or whatever you want. I'll teach you any instrument you want, but it's a 30-minute lesson for free. And yeah, why does that thing? Okay. Gonna play us out. We'll see you next week on String Theory. Oh! I needed that ear, arsehole.